Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Swami Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Swami Ram. Namaskar. Welcome to the first of the two Guru Purnima Pravachans by Sri Gondavalekar Maharaj. Before we delve into the Pravachan, some quick context on the same. This Pravachan contains several independent and insightful points shared by Sri Maharaj with some of his closest devotees. Professor K.V. Belsare, one of Gondavalekar Maharaj's ardent disciples of recent times, explains in his book Sri Brahma Chaitanya Gondavalekar Maharaj Charitra Ani Vangmay, the biography and literature of Sri Brahma Chaitanya Maharaj Gondavalekar, that Sri Maharaj rarely spoke about himself or his work in front of others, whilst attributing all glory to Sri Ram. However, when the audience consisted of Maharaj's closest and loving disciples, Sri Maharaj would speak more freely about his true nature. The thoughts which make up this pravachan have been imparted by Sri Maharaj to devotees on different occasions and are explained in this book in further detail under the chapter Bodhvachane in the topic Swata Vishay or About Myself in English. We shall hence take recourse to the book at several points during the pravachan to fully understand it. This pravachan is particularly revealing and insightful to sadhaks as the Sadguru himself reveals his thoughts such as seeing the divinity in all, his personal likes and dislikes, and ultimately his real spiritual stature. Without further ado, let us now begin the pravachan. Sri Maharaj says, "With God as my witness, I say this, that even within him who has taken initiation from me, I saw Ram and acted as such. If every place is filled with Ram, then doesn't he dwell in the disciple as well? Knowing fully well that he is junior and subordinate to me spiritually, is helpless, is ignorant, yet I saw him as a form of Ram." The first major point covered in this Guru Purnima Pravachan is one where Sri Maharaj stresses on seeing the divinity within all, while simultaneously demonstrating his lack of ego about being a Guru, the true hallmark of a Sadguru. Gondavalekar Maharaj leads by action and in turn encourages us sadhaks to perceive Sri Ram in all. I do not see any person to be bad, otherwise he would not be born as a human being. Here, Sri Maharaj is referring to the basic inherent goodness that is required to qualify for human birth. But more importantly, Sri Maharaj is pointing us towards our real infinite selves, our Atma, and the potential of humankind to realize it. I do not feel that no one heeds to my advice. Also, I do not think that I protect anyone. I was not able to protect myself. God protected me. Then how can I protect the world? As always, Sri Maharaj is humility personified. When Gondavalekar Maharaj says that he feels that everyone listens to his advice, he says it out of his love for devotees, that while they strive to listen to his instructions, they are seldom able to follow them. In Sri Maharaj's biography, Baba Belsare has mentioned two crucial points stated by Maharaj adjoining this statement, which help us in understanding it further. Sri Maharaj states that there are two reasons as to why his words may not have their desired effect on us. The first reason he says modestly is that perhaps he may not have the power to transform the minds of the devotees. And the second reason being that we may be falling short in our spiritual practice. Therefore, as keen sadhaks, we must introspect and work on our shortcomings for the Guru's words to affect us beneficially. As discussed earlier, Sri Maharaj attributes all of his prowess to Sri Ram. Sri Maharaj underlines that it is God who protects and provides for all. Continuing with the pravachan, Sri Maharaj says, I like small children and retired pensioners because they have no inhibitions. They are not bound by anything. The learned intellectuals have my respect but not my love. I respect Saraswati, the goddess of learning who dwells in them. I have an aversion to the rich, as relying on their riches they forget God. More than the learned, I like the illiterate. More than the rich, I like the poor. Similarly, I prefer to stay in a small village rather than the city. I have stated what I like. This depends on an individual's nature. It is not necessary that all saints will have similar preferences. Here, we get a glimpse into Sri Maharaj's personality. He preferred simple living over material satisfaction. Sri Maharaj used to say that worry, anxiety, and sorrow are signs of being bound to the world, while being happy in all circumstances is a sign of freedom. Hence, his preference for the very young and the very old, more specifically, humans not bound by or to anything. Sri Maharaj also states his lack of affection for the scholarly and the rich, primarily because of their ego, which impedes the path of devotion towards God. These statements may appear contradictory to some, as the pravachan begins by Sri Maharaj saying that he sees Ram in all, and yet here he appears to have a preference for certain individuals over others. But therein lies the message. Gondavlekar Maharaj in reality has no favorites. Yet, with the hope that we may aspire to win over his love, he wishes to nudge us into imbibing non-attachment, simple living, and humility into our lives to help expedite our own spiritual progress. If a person is asked thus, "Keep your eye at your home and then come to me," then he won't be able to do so. In the same manner, I cannot exist without Nam, the name of God. Where there is Nam, there itself I am. If you have to learn anything after coming to me, then it is this, that we should not worry and learn to stay with the belief that the Supreme Being does all. This stupendous example clearly underlines why Sri Maharaj is known as the Nam Avatar. Time and again, emphasizing his love for Nam, he encourages us to do Namasmaran with the name of Sri Ram on our lips and in our hearts. Sri Maharaj's singular teaching to us is to surrender ourselves completely to the will of Sri Ram and give up the illusions of worry, fear, anxiety and sorrow through the practice of Namasmaran. Constant Namasmaran forever keeps us in touch with our real selves and strengthens the belief that everything happens as per God's will. Firmly rooted in our true self, we do not get carried away by the worldly affairs of the body and the mind. Now, let us listen to his instructions for young kids. My advice to young boys and girls is thus: 1. Obey your parents' instructions. 2. Whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly. 3. Do not let go of honesty and integrity. And 4. Do not ever forget the Supreme Lord. A little seedling which is well cared for with manure and water, on becoming a big tree, provides shade and shelter to many. In the same manner, if good behavior is inculcated right from childhood, only then will you achieve true greatness later in life. Sri Maharaj's counsel for young children is simple and straightforward, in a manner that can be easily taught and implemented. Actually, all of Sri Maharaj's teachings are simple and clear. It is now for us to implement them. I fully understand what is going on in the mind of a person who comes to meet me. However, going against day-to-day life to show a miracle is not appropriate. Hence, I never manifest it. Here, Sri Maharaj reveals his true omniscience, his ability to know it all. Yet, being the saint that he is, he never displays it. All real saints stay away from miracle chasers, but are always on the lookout for true seekers. I hear through the ears of all of you. If any person amongst us becomes sorrowful, then my mind becomes restless. And following this, once I search the origin of this restlessness, I find the dejected person. Sometimes we feel that God is ignorant to our sufferings and emotions. Here, Sri Maharaj shows that our every thought is heard and every feeling felt by him. Like a loving mother, he is affected by our dejection and despondency. As grateful children, we must therefore be calm and cheerful under all circumstances. My disciple must never unnecessarily worry for any reason. One whose responsibility I have taken should place his complete faith in me. I say this from my own experience that if you conduct your life as per God's will, then nothing will go wrong. Make a firm resolve that you will do what I have asked of you. Do not fret about anything. I have taken your responsibility. When I say, I am with you, what it means is that it is not me in this physical form, but the Supreme Being who is with you. I am doing everything for your sake. You should do whatever is possible of you. But while doing so, never become restless or yearnful. Why don't you believe that it is I, residing in your heart, who inspires your intellect? In reality, whatever you do, it is I who does it. It is my will alone. Keep this in your mind firmly and behave accordingly. Now, revealing his true prowess, the Sadguru explains his oneness with Sri Ram. When he assures us that he is with us, it really means that all of the universe's powers are with us. It is he who drives us in our journey. Once we assimilate this reality in our thinking, then our behavior will automatically become attuned to his wishes, and restlessness and despair shall take a back seat. I never lose hope in anyone. One who has been born as a human, his emancipation is certain. Finally, Sri Maharaj expresses his confidence in the spiritual progress of all of us. As a loving Guru, he is certain that all of his sadhak children shall strive for Sri Ram, and he shall ensure that their yearning is quenched. As explained in this Guru Purnima Pravachan, we must approach our worldly affairs with the name of Sri Swami Ram firmly enshrined in our heart and on our lips, while seeing the underlying divinity in all. Living simply, giving up our bondage and worries, understanding that Sri Maharaj is always by our side, let us continue to strive on in our spiritual journey. Ultimately, when Gondolekar Maharaj displays such confidence that we shall do so, it is our duty to honor it. Shri Ram.
Jai Jai Raghuveer Samarth. Jai